This is a spoiler warning for the movie Intergalactic. If you do not want to be spoiled, by all means, it is on Netflix. You can go watch it, then come back here, or just watch this one anyway. I'm sure you'll still have fun. Now, like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into it. So, Intergalactic. I'm just going to get this out of the way. This movie is essentially just modern day Black America for Gen Z. It's literally what it is. So, right off the bat, the movie tries to capture the Black experience through stereotypes and, more importantly, representation. If there's one thing I really dislike about this movie, and many movies that do this, it is the sole fact that they go out of their way to use pretty visuals to be perceived as deep in an intellectual movie, and it's very apparent. Like, we get it. You dumped a lot of money into people showing you essentially fever dreams, and we'll get into more of that later. But basically, it's like the way how you entertain kids nowadays with animated TV shows and movies. Just throw in a bunch of explosions of pretty colors and neon lights, and automatically you're done. And it's really sad that movies directed towards adults do this as well, but whatever, that's just me. It's like one minute you're watching a fairly realistic and borderline realistic story about a man who just happens to be Black struggling to find love. Then the next minute you're literally again thrown into a fever dream type of situation. And honestly, every time it happened, it just felt like the producers were just having a circle jerk when it came to, oh wow, we can make this movie look really cool. And of course, since this is a modern day 2022 project, of course, we have to dispel the heteronormative relationship of the two main characters, literally. So, of course, the main character's love interest is bisexual, vegan, and on top of that, she is a social justice warrior. And I say this because of a little conversation that she and her friend has about this type of issue, and you're going to see why I said it. Just give me a second. So basically, for no reason at all, they start discussing different types of attractive men, and for some reason, race is a factor in this conversation. So the main character's love interest basically gives this glorious answer onto why she doesn't find white men attractive. And before she does that, she says the following openly racist comment, at least in my opinion, and she says this: all white men look the same to her. Then she follows up with this wonderful line. And she says, oh, oppression as the main reason. I see movies doing this a lot. I saw it with Wakanda Forever. I saw it with Dear White People in a way. And similar movies of that nature that do this whole type of virtue signaling garbage. They always seem to basically love showing how one race of people don't like another race of people solely based on what their ancestors have done and also what they look like, calling them names just to solely identify them as a certain lack of melanin. And before I get the Uncle Ruckus comments, because I know I'm going to get them, just hear me out for like a split second. Imagine this, right? Just imagine it. Hear me out. A white woman says all Black guys look the same to her. And oh yeah, gang violence. You see how crazy that sounds? You see how idiotic people who make those type of arguments sound now? Just check it. Now let's continue. The movie also shows, obviously, not stereotypical depictions of Black people, i.e. having intercourse with random people you just met, having Black women consistently wear outfits that leave very little to the imagination, and of course our Black male protagonist has his glizzy out on full damn display pretty much in one of these scenes, further emasculating Black men, but whatever. Totally not sexualizing the Black people, right guys? Am I right? Also, there's this really long and drawn out scene of the male protagonist's girlfriend, mixed best friend, just can't stop talking about how when she was on her first date with her fiance or husband or whatever, essentially she just couldn't stop thinking about boning. That's literally all she thought about. And it goes on for some times. I kid you not. Over half of what this, insert female best friend says is just a freaking sexual innuendo or something involving that. Like, I kid you not. Like, that's literally all she can talk about. Remember, guys, when males sexualize women to this type of cartoonish degree, it is seen as misogynistic and belittling women to just their organs. Remember that. All right, so wow, where do I begin? So
I'm sorry for like the lack of uploads for the past over 10 days now. Like, I am so sorry. Like, that was not like the plan of this. Like, I planned like this whole thing out. I was just gonna start uploading almost daily, pretty much. And yeah, we hit 2K recently, so that's awesome. I appreciate that. Like, it's really like for me, like it's like been like hard to like even think about getting to 2K. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like to me, like I don't never like picture myself getting big until it happens. You know what I mean? Like it's never been something I desired. I just like putting out my thoughts on movies and TV shows. But I don't want to just push out like lazily edited videos. Like, cause then I feel like you guys can tell, I don't want to give y'all like crappy product. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm really taking my time with these videos. Like I want them to be the best they possibly can be for your enjoyment. Cause that's like the main reason why we do this whole YouTube thing. So to make people enjoy something, like that's like our main thing. So yeah, I just want to make sure that that's coming across to you guys. Like, but yeah, this is a long tangent to just say that. And yeah, Nakari, take them away and let's get back to the video.
And instead of giving her friend some advice on how to deal with the fact that she has a surface level attraction to this man on a sexual level, instead of actually telling her friend and giving her encouraging advice such as get to know a person more than just on a surface level attraction, instead it is, oh, just fuck. Like that's literally her groundbreaking advice she gives to her friend struggling to deal with her urges. But yeah, that's what we have to deal with here because women are obviously so much more emotionally intelligent than men are, right? Also, probably should have mentioned this before in the beginning of the video, but our male protagonist has this very inconsequential and very unnecessary ex-girlfriend plot that happened earlier on in the story. It was so nothing that I forgot to even put it in my script, but realistically, she was just thrown in there so we can have some unnecessary drama, and that is exactly what happens. Cue unnecessary drama that could have been avoided with just a simple conversation. And it's so stupid because like they are clearly doing this just to pad the runtime because this movie's runtime is what it is. And it's so stupid because the ex-girlfriend plot goes nowhere. It literally is there and is so predictable how it's going to go out because like 50 movies before this have done this exact same trope. Now they're just doing it with black people, so now it's different now all of a sudden and very deep. Also, I know there's going to be a lot of people in my comments saying something about this, so I'm just going to address this here now. They're going to be like, oh, it's a stylistic choice, but I'm not going to lie to you, right? To me, a lot of this movie looks like the animators from Spider-Verse were on a budget, and it's really distracting in some shots, and it's more egregious in others. But again, to me, this makes this movie just look and feel ugly to me. But I already know art is subjective and all that. But personally, like I said, it just wasn't for me. Like it literally looks like it's just unfinished in a lot of portions. It looks like it's like test footage in a way. Also, there's this really idiotic scene that reminds me more and more how entertainment is going to be for the foreseeable future. So, of course, like I said, it's a heteronormative notion that a black man and a black woman are dating and they're straight. Because, of course, just thinking that would be seen as, signs of internalized homophobia. So, for some reason, for really a random, no reason thing at all, by the way, some random art person is, basically just blowing up her sexuality on the spot. And it has no bearings on what they were talking about before. But for some reason, they have to shout to the rooftops that, yes, she is bi. And they kind of hinted that when they show scenes with her in her little art studio, so they really do hint at it a lot. At least they try to put attention to it. Because again, heteronormative to date to, cis people together, if you know what I mean. Like that's the argument people will use. These weird social justice warriors, they're insane, I promise you. Oh, by the way, the female protagonist or the main character's girlfriend, so to speak, she dresses and acts exactly how you'd expect her to dress and act this entire movie. Seriously. But yeah, overall, this movie was just very unimpressive, at least to me. And it was pretty much everything I expected this movie to be, from the way the story unfolded all the way up to the score of the movie. And of course, we also need to have a soy boy in the movie. And the mixed guy that our main character's friends with fills that role perfectly because one of his other friends, right, was giving him pretty solid advice on how to deal with women in the modern day. And of course, our soy boy male feminist, who happens to be mixed, just so happens to hit him with the line of, "Who hurt you?" Even though what he said could logically happen, given the situation and given the context. But, whatever, right? Whatever. I don't know. To me, it's just weird, though. I don't know. And you're gonna believe this or not, but like I was trying my best to really like this movie, but this movie just throughout this experience just kept getting more and more annoying, and it gave me more and more reasons to dislike this movie. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on this. Also, before I head out, um, people in this movie just can't stop lighting one up real quick, and it's really egregious. Like, we get it, guys, get it. Black people like weed. You see what they did there? Totally not, stereotyping black people. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. To me, this was just a whatever movie. It was just, more black exploitation. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, do the good stuff, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.